Hi, I'm Nate and you're watching Photolearningism. Let's look at how to use a mesh transform in Krita. I've done this once upon a time, but I wanted to show you a more practical use case of it and something I'm working on, so let's do that. All right, so let's hop over into Krita. Krita is a fantastic free open source tool that is regularly maintained by the KDE group. I strongly suggest you go get it if you're into drawing or graphic design or really anything that has to do with digital drawing. It's a fantastic tool. For reference right now, I am using version 5.1.4, just in case that helps, and I'm on Ubuntu, I'm on Linux, but there are other versions available for Mac and for Windows as well. All right, so we are looking at a shotgun bullet casing here, which I've been drawing in the... there's more about that to come later, so don't question so much why I'm drawing one. I'll explain that in the future. But for right now, let's accept the fact that it's here. And I want to add a little bit more to this because a spent shotgun shell gets ridges in the back. It actually gets fins from the fluting in the barrel. So we need to put that in here if I want it to look like it's actually been expended. So an easy way to do that is actually to use the transform tool. So I'll start by clicking on that, and then in the tool options, which for me is over here, it could really be anywhere depending on how you've set up your workspace. I have a video on how to do that, but for me it's up here under the tool, under this tab, tool options, and I'm going to switch the mode over to mesh. Now, you do have to have it selected already in order to see the options. So make sure you've selected what you're working on. I have my layer already set up here. I clicked on it. I'm going to increase the mesh size. Basically, what we're going to do here is make a grid that we can adjust. So I'm going to step up the columns, and for quick explanation, you'll see it as I come into play here. But columns are going to be the vertical, and rows will be the horizontal. Okay, so that is how we kind of space that out. They don't have to be the same. They don't have to be equally proportionate. I can do more columns than I can do rows. Just understand where they're coming into play. All right, so I want to put in enough rows where I get a very narrow field of adjustment here. And this is determined, again, by what's in your layer. This is going to look different depending on what's in the layer you're working on, but this is what's contained here. And then I'm going to add a couple of rows. Now this is good because I only want to add two fins, two fluted marks onto this expended shell for now, and I have those lined up here. It's always going to equally break the space. I don't know of a way right now where you can offset that. Right now it assumes that it has to be an equal split when you're making this grid. Okay, so then from here, really this gets really simple. I just need to take my points and then start adjusting them. And you'll see that every point has a Bezier curve, which is how we're going to simulate this crunching, this fluted mark. And I can also move this point in a little bit, or I can drag it out if I want to make it really accentuated. But for this use case, this use of the Beziers are what's really going to help me achieve this. And you have this really on every point. All right, it can get really complicated, and I'd say make sure that you're not running anything too intensive in the background while you're doing this, because this will use up a lot of CPU to do this math. But you can see how I am kind of bending this object and giving it that effect of having been expended now. And I can, again, manipulate any point that appears here. Every one of them has two Bezier points, which I can draw out or shrink in and use to craft this effect. Now, obviously, from this point, what I want to do is compensate for light because I have shadows and reflection and other things going on here, so that would be the next logical step. But this is how you can start to bring you can start to bend an object around things or to simulate that they have been bent. And this is a really super powerful feature that's coming. It's been around for a while in Krita, but I'm highlighting it now because I'm using it and it's fun and it's interesting, and I think it might be helpful to you too. So really, that is the gist of it. You use the transform tool, you set the mode over to mesh, it's this last one right now, over all the way at the end, and set your grid size, the columns, the rows, and then make adjustments as makes sense. All right. So that is how that works. If this was useful to you, please do give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done that already, because you don't want to miss out on the fantastic tips and tricks and guides and tutorials that we do here. Also, it's just fun to hang out and to explore brand new art technologies and content creator strategies and all those things that we do here. So do come back, do subscribe, and I'll see you again at the next video.